It is very easy to defeat someone, but it is very hard to win someone. Hello, and welcome once again to my YouTube channel Better Solutions with Ravi. And today already we are on day 2, and our today's topic is the classification of sentence structures. As I promised you in the previous class that I would come back with this topic, and I'm here right back with you to become a hero from zero. So, without being wasting our time, let's begin. So, in today's class, we are going to study about the 4 types of sentence structures. As I had promised you earlier that I'll bring a video on the classification of sentence structures, and today I'm here. Now, let me remind you, in the last class or the previous class, we had studied about the classification of sentence by purpose, and those were assertive sentences, interrogative sentences, imperative sentences, and exclamatory sentences. And as like that of, here we are also going to study about the 4 types of sentence structures, and those are simple sentences, compound sentences, complex sentences, and compound complex sentences. Now, let me advise you one thing, that you must always go through their names, because these names tells us the hub of the thing. They make us easy to understand. Let me tell how. If we talk about this simple sentence, okay, in the simple sentence, we always know that we always talk about the simple things. Simple things. There is no critical things spoken about here. Okay, simple things are discussed here. Always there is no complexity here. And if we talk about the compound sentence, okay, this compound sentence, let me tell you according to science first. Okay, according to science, what is the meaning of compound? Now, this compound means a thing that is composed of, okay, a thing that is composed of 2 or more different elements. Okay, different elements. I'll make it very easy for you. Okay, elements, don't worry, don't think it's very critical. It's the easiest thing to learn here, because you are starting with Better Solutions with Ravi, so you need not worry. Okay, so if you go to the next one, the complex sentences. Now, this word complex itself tells us that there is some complexity present in this sentence, or some complications will be there. Okay, so we can write here complicated. Okay, some complicated things will face here, but no problem, we'll make it as easy as it can be possible. Now, let's go to the fourth one, that is compound complex sentences. See, compound and complex sentences, that means the features of both of these, the compound and the complex features, will be present together here to make it a compound complex sentence. Now, let me talk about this sentence. Okay, this sentence. So now, let's see here about the clauses. Okay, we have independent clause and dependent clause. Now, you might be thinking, what are these clause? What is their function? But let me tell you, the clauses are brought together, or they're added together to make a complete sentence. Okay, to make a complete sentence. And the sentence that gives a complete meaning is called sentence. Now, let's see about the sentence structures. Okay, now let's see about the sentence structures of the independent clause and the dependent clause. Okay, in the independent clause, subject, okay, subject plus verb will be there, and in the dependent clause, subject plus verb will be there. Oh, is it? Can it be in this way, that in both the format we have subject plus verb and subject plus verb? You might be thinking there is something wrong in this sentence, isn't it? But there is no mistake here. We need to understand now, if these things are same here, subject plus verb and subject plus verb, we need to go to this side, okay, to the left side, to understand. I advise you to go through the names, because the names gives the half of the meaning of the sentence, okay, of the word. Now here, the word independent says that it doesn't require any help from anybody or any other sentences. That means it itself can give a complete meaning. A sentence that gives a complete meaning can also be called as independent clause. But dependent clauses are those which by themselves they cannot give any complete meaning. That means they require some help from other sentences to make a complete meaning or to make a complete sentence. Now let's take an example. That is, I was late. Okay, I was late. This is a sentence, and we know that this is a complete sentence. So this is a complete sentence which gives a complete meaning that I was late. Okay, now if I write because I missed my bus. Okay, because I missed my bus is the other sentence. Now does this sentence give any meaning? If someone tells you because I missed my bus, so you will say, then what? So what do you want to convey? Convey it fully or tell a complete sentence so that I can understand your feelings. What are you going to tell? Because I missed my bus, so what? Okay, a question always arises here. That means this is an dependent sentence which is dependent on this. Okay, now first of all, you see here, I was late is an independent sentence, and because I missed my bus is a dependent sentence or the dependent clause. Okay, now when we mix these clauses together, now let's see what happens. Here, I was late because I missed my bus. Okay, now see whether this sentence gives a complete meaning or not. Okay, now here this part, this is independent. Okay, this is independent part, and this is because I missed my bus is a dependent clause. Now here these two clauses are mixed together, or they came together, they are added together to make a complete sentence, and also it gives a complete meaning that I was late because I missed my bus. Now let's understand these clauses in other way. Okay, let us relate this to our community, to our society. Okay, to understand it in a better way. Okay, now if we say independent clause, that means in our society who all are independent? Means who all are independent in the eyes of society, not in the eyes of me. I feel both boys and girls are independent. Okay, but here according to society, who do you think are independent? Obviously boys, isn't it? Because the society thinks that boys are always independent, they do not need any help from anybody, they can do their work by themselves. So let's take an example here for the independent clause, boy. Okay, boy, here we took an example for the independent clause. And in the same way, dependent clause, okay, we always say that a girl needs someone always to be helped because she cannot do anything by herself. That's the views from the society, because that is the concept of the society, that it always thinks that the girls are dependent. But I don't know why do they think in such a way, but that needs to be changed. Okay, so let's not talk about that much. Let's talk about the dependent clause. So we can take an example for this as girls. Okay, now remember this and observe keenly what I am doing it, because this is a trick for you. Now look here, I have a trick for you, and these tricks are going to be with you forever, because it is a trick such a way I have made that you are going to remember it for your lifetime. Okay, now let's see. Just before some time I said that for the independent sentences we will take as boys, and for the dependent sentences we will take as girls. Okay, now since I have written here boy for the simple sentences, that means it is an independent. Okay, independent, that means independent. That means simple sentences can also be called as an independent sentences. Okay, now let's go to the compound sentence. Okay, now let's go to the compound sentence. I had said in the definition that two or more elements should be present here. Okay, now let's see here, one boy is present here and then one boy present here. I said two or more than two, so we can include here third boy, also fourth boy, no problem, as many as can be added here. Okay, and now let's look at the complex sentence. Okay, complex sentence. Now in complex sentence I had said there is a complexity. Okay, complexity or complicated, and we know that in our society whenever they see a boy and girl together, no matter whether they are brothers and sisters, whether they are friends or something else, but there is complexity always that is prevailing in our society, and I think we all should be against it, and we should try to eradicate it from our minds so that we will be able to live a free and frank life. Okay, Now let's see here the compound complex sentence. Okay, I had said that the features of the compound and the complex will be put here. In the same way, you see here two boys written. So here, since for the compound two boys were there, so two boys written here, and here for the complex one girl. Okay, a girl is here. That means these two boys are what? These are independent. Okay, these are two independent sentences plus one dependent sentence can make a compound complex sentences. We'll go one by one, then it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, now let's start from the simple sentence. Okay, a simple sentence has a subject and a verb. Okay, it has a subject and a verb. Subject and a verb. Earlier also I had told. Okay, let's see a few examples. I am a teacher. Okay, I am a teacher. So now what you have to do is you have to find out which is subject and which one is verb. Okay, now here subject is I. Okay, here I am putting it here. I is the subject and am is the verb. Okay, in the second sentence, if we see, she cooked the dinner for all. Okay, what she did? She cooked the dinner for all. Now here she is the subject and cooked is the verb. In the third sentence, we are having bread and jam for the breakfast. Okay, for the breakfast we are having bread and jam. So here the subject is we. Okay, and verb is are having. Okay, now here remember are is the helping verb. Okay, is the helping verb and the having is the main verb. And not here one thing here, not it, that every or a simple sentence is also called an independent clause. Okay, it is called an independent clause. And now let's move to the second one. Okay, that is compound sentence. That is boy boy. Okay, a compound sentence has two or more independent clauses. Okay, now let's see the structure of this compound sentence. That is, first will come independent clause, then a coordinating conjunction will be there to connect the two independent clauses, and then again at last an independent clauses will be here. So let's see what is the function of this coordinating conjunction. Okay, example 1, I am a teacher and my wife is a lawyer. Okay, here this coordinating conjunction is conjoining. Okay, that means joining the two independent clauses together and giving a one sentence. Okay, it's making a one sentence and giving a complete meaning. That is, I am a teacher and my wife is a lawyer. Let's see the second one. She tried to lift the suitcase, but it was too heavy. Okay, it was too heavy. That means she tried to lift the suitcase, but since the suitcase was too heavy, she couldn't lift. Okay, that's the meaning of the sentence. Now let's go to the third one. He didn't have enough cash, so he paid by credit card. Okay, along with him, he didn't have enough cash to pay, therefore he used his credit card. Now here remember one thing, words like, okay, words like and okay, but, so, or, okay, these are called coordinating conjunctions. Okay, coordinating conjunctions. For this I'll take a separate class, okay, for the conjunctions and all those things. Now let's look at the third one, that is complex sentence. Okay, complex sentence. And complexity, we said that if there is a boy and a girl, there always arises complexity. Okay, now let's see what is a complex sentence. A complex sentence has a dependent clause and an independent clause. Okay, now let's look at the structures of the complex sentence. That is, at first an independent clause will be there, and then subordinating clause or relative pronouns plus dependent clause. Okay, let's see a few examples, then we'll understand in a better way. Let's see. First one here. Let me know if you need any help. Okay, this is the example. Let me know if you need any help. Let me know, this is an independent sentence, and if you need help is an dependent sentence. Okay, if we only say if you need any help, is that gives any meaning, a complete meaning? No. So therefore it needs helping. Okay, so it requires a helping hand, and this sentence, let me know, this independent sentence fulfills the desires, that let me know if you need any help. And in the second one, even though the exam was difficult, all the students passed. Okay, and here all the students passed, this is independent. And even though the exam was difficult, if we say only this part of the sentence, then this becomes dependent clause, because only the first part of this sentence doesn't give any complete meaning, or it doesn't give any sense. Now let's move to the third one. I missed the bus because I was late. Okay, I missed the bus because I was late. Here I missed the bus is independent, because I was late is dependent. If we say only because I was late, it also doesn't give any fruitful meaning. So we mix together, and that is conjoined, okay, by this subordinating conjunction. Okay, this is because, and this because, and this because makes the independent and dependent sentence together to form I missed the bus because I was late. And for now, let's give few examples for the relative pronoun. Okay, few examples for the relative pronoun. And the relative pronoun, that will be, examples for this will be, I know a guy who plays, okay, guitar on a rock band. Okay, rock band. Or in the second one also it will be there, synonyms. Okay, synonyms are words that gives, okay, that gives similar meanings. Now here you can see, I know a guy who, okay, who plays guitar on a rock band. Okay, this who is the pronoun of this guy. Okay, this guy. Now in the second one also we'll see, synonyms are words that gives similar meanings. Okay, that, okay, synonyms are words that gives similar meanings. Okay, so the here words like, who, that, whose, whom. Okay, this can be called as the basic relative pronouns. So now let's move to the next one, and now we are going to see the last one, that is compound complex sentence. Okay, that is compound complex sentence, and here we have two boys and one girl. We know it already, and let's define it. A compound sentence, okay, a compound sentence has more than one independent clauses or one or more dependent clauses. Okay, now to understand it in a better way or in an easy way, let's look at the structure of the sentences. Okay, first one we'll have is independent clauses. Okay, independent clauses, then we'll have the subordinating conjunction, and then we'll have the dependent clause ending conjunction, and we'll have the independent clauses. Okay, independent clauses. So now look at the examples. That is, first one we have, I missed the train because I was late, so I had to take a cab. Now here I missed the train is the independent, okay, clause of the sentence. Now here because here is the subordinating conjunction. Okay, subordinating conjunction, and I was late. Okay, I was late, this is the dependent here, and so I had to take a cab. Okay, this is the independent sentence here. Okay, or the independent clause here, and so here is the coordination conjunction. Okay, coordinating conjunction or the coordination conjunction. Now in the second one, if you see here, he had left before you got home and he came back after 10 minutes. Okay, he had left before we got home. He had left before, this is an, okay, He had left before we got home, and he came back after 10 minutes. Okay. So today we completed the four types of sentence structures, the classification of sentence structures, and I think you might have all understood in a complete way. But still, if you have any doubts regarding all the structures or the previous class also, you can comment me in the comment section box, and I will see you in the next class. If you're new to this channel, please do like, comment and subscribe, and share to your near and dear ones, so that they also get the chance to learn English, and that too with better solutions with Ravi.